Gluten is a general name for the proteins that are found in wheat. These proteins help food maintain its shape, acting as the glue that holds food together. Gluten allergies were actually first described in AD 100 by the Greek doctor Artaeus. When his works were later published in Latin in 1552, the Greek word for abdominal was transcribed to celiac. The other known fact about gluten is that it's delicious. Can these gluten-free snack companies make us love something that's missing these mouth-watering proteins? Today we reach into normally appetizing snacks, rip out the gluten, and ask, "You tried that?" You Tried Dat, episode 99. Nick Novak with my pals, Chad Hancock.
If you take the gluten out of me, am I just as delicious?
No. Nick Geiger.
We've got 99 episodes. Gluten hopefully isn't one.
That's so stupid.
That made no sense at all.
I decided early when we started that sometime before we get to 100 episodes, we need to introduce to people how we met each other. So this is our last chance to do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I moved to the same town that Chad lived in when I was in high school.
Right.
And I knew nobody. And I took a class in gym called Strength and Conditioning. And so
did nothing for either one of us, clearly.
It'd be a great poster, actually, of me and you stand next to each other, or there's strength written above my head and conditioning written above yours.
Just lies written underneath it.
Chad was also in that class with nobody he knew.
Right.
And so we decided that neither one of us wanted any part of gaining strength or becoming better conditioned.
Hell no. Yeah, and now but before that, you had, full disclosure, you had been in my calculus class the semester before, where I did have friends in that class, and I think you said later that you just thought of me as just another loud jackass, because I was in that calculus class with a bunch of my friends, and we were never paying attention and just yelling dumb shit all the time.
Yeah, I also thought of you just as huge nerd, and I was a step above huge nerd.
Right.
But I was in this calculus class. I probably shouldn't have been in it. I didn't know how to do any of the shit that was in there. But we got into this class. We decided we would just start talking. Do you remember any of the shit we talked about?
I remember actually the very first conversation we ever had in that strength and conditioning class, because we have another mutual friend, Chemnitz, and I'd been friends with him for a couple years, and I had lunch with him in high school. Like, we had the same lunch together. And there was this whole long story where, like, we used to sit at the same table every day, like me, him, and a couple other friends. And then some other kids, like, moved in and, like, took that table one day. And so we like, vowed revenge, right? And so one of our friends had the bright idea of, like, oh, I've got some stink bombs at home, right? Like, bring in a stink bomb, and we'll use. So we devised this whole plan where they brought in the stink bomb, and our other friend, who drank Snapples every day, he would drink the entire Snapple, put the stink bomb into the Snapple jar and close it, and then, like, kind of wait for the smells to develop. And then the table was sort of close to a garbage can, so he nonchalantly, like, walked past this garbage can, dropped the Snapple bottle in, and, like, unscrewed the lid right at the same time. And so then, like, about 2 minutes go by, and we just see the people at the table just be like, oh, what the fuck? And, like, get up and, want to leave. So that was hilarious. But anyways, I remember Chemnitz told you about that. And I remember the first thing you said to me was, you came up to me and you were like, so you know Chemnitz, right? And I was like, yeah. And you're like, he was telling me about that whole stink bomb thing at lunch, and I was so mad at Chemnitz for like blabbing about this thing that we did.
Wait, did you actually do it or plan to do it?
No. That it really happened. Yeah, we did the stink bomb, and then he told Novak about it, and then that was Novak's in to become friends with a cool guy like me.
You shouldn't have been upset because I didn't not have a friend to tell that story to. So, yeah. So then we became friends pretty quick after that, and
right.
Geiger and I met in college. So before Chad and Geiger, they were the last to become friends. But Geiger and I met in college, and we've talked about it before. But we both had a crush on the same girl in college, and neither one of us had chance in hell of being with her. So how I remember meeting you was, so you went to high school with this girl, and so I was interested in her, and so we went out to like a restaurant, like a coffee shop or a bar or something like that, and she said, we're gonna meet my friend from high school there, and that was you. And exactly how I felt about Chad when I first met him is how I felt about you, that you were a loud jackass. Because you spent the whole time trying to impress her, and your method is to be much more outgoing than me. So I was just pissed off at you the whole time. I thought you were annoying, but mostly because you were trying to get the same girl I was.
Your tactic was to sit in the corner and glower at me, as I recall. We went to a coffee shop, and I had a slight advantage in that obviously I was already friends with this girl, and that I was willing to talk out loud. That was the only two advantages I had. But little did we know we were fighting to a lose-lose draw. There was no...
Your disadvantage was that she knew you. That was the problem.
Right. She had seen you in high school.
My disadvantage is that she knew me and that I was willing to talk a lot too. So I distinctly remember like that guy was kind of I also like that guy was kind of like rude, like not rude, but I could just tell you weren't happy or you weren't liking me.
Right.
That's fine. I mean, that's not the first time I've encountered such an emotion. And then I started dating one of her friends real briefly, and it was like a year later, I feel like.
Yeah.
And like,
which
she
is
was
also
like,
one of my
friends. Meet some of my friends. Right. And she used to meet some of my friends on the floor, and I remember meeting our other friend Dan first, I think. And then you walked in, I'm like, oh, that guy. Like, I remember like, that guy fucking hated. No. So we immediately started fighting each other and screaming, she's mine. And then I believe I beat the shit out of you and won the college football championship that same year, right?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
We were fighting, and we smashed through like a window off the 10th floor. And as we were on the way down, we made friends.
And like... each punch that you put into my face, I'm like, man, this guy's strength and conditioning is impeccable. I don't know how I'm going to beat it. And then you whipped a Snapple bottle full of stink bomb right in my face. I was like, who's this fucking guy? And Chad was in the bushes, like giving a high five.
We'll make this part short because I know we've told it too, but then we started, you started dating her, and we sort of liked you more. So when you guys broke up, it became awkward, but we ended up just hanging out with you all the time instead of our previous friend.
Yeah, I remember when we broke up, I'm like, oh man, I really want to hang out with these guys. I hope that's okay. And that it did work out, obviously. Spoiler alert, it worked out. And then I met Chad. I believe sometime he came to visit on campus. Again, I still remember us. We went to a Dunkin' Donuts, and I remember thinking, this guy's a fucking asshole. Because like I was trying to like... Because I was like...
Common themes here.
I was doing my same Geiger, like, dumb jokes machine routine. And, like, Chemnitz and, like, was super friendly and asking about my life and, like, being, like, super outgoing Chemnitz and Chad. I think I made some joke and he went, yeah. And then, like, turned back and started like, you fucking prick. But, like, we got to be friends, obviously. It's fine.
Yeah, I just remember thinking, this guy never shuts up.
Yeah, that's accurate. And now we have a podcast where we just do nothing but talk.
You were actually telling the story to me. We were talking about this the other day about how when it turned out that you guys were going to go live together like
Right.
years later after many like iterations of people living with one another.
Right.
And like you guys were sort of the odd men out at the time. And so you decided to live with each other. And Geiger, you were like, I don't know how this is going to go.
Well, like I knew Chad, but I didn't know him that well. Yeah, you're right. You were probably like the last guy I got to know well. And there was a couple times
Right.
we went and looked at places, and you were like, it's fine. You really like that? Whatever. Like you just seemed irritated, and I think I finally said like, we don't have to live together, man. Like if you don't want to, like, I was like, I'm like, I don't think this guy even likes me. Like I showed up first, and I moved into one of the rooms, and did you take that room? I'm like, well, you can have it. I can move it. Yeah, it's fine. And I like tried to talk, and you're just like, I'm watching the Cubs game, and just like sitting in the corner. None of us had furniture. We're sitting on the floor. I'm like, all right, be fucking tense as hell. No, but obviously it worked out. It wasn't you were rude. I didn't know you well enough to know if you were like fine with it or not. But it worked out.
Right. But we got to know each other really well.
Yes,
those 2 years
very much
living
so.
together. So that worked out nicely. So Novak and I met over a stink bomb, and Geiger and Novak met over a bombshell. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right.
What do you got left? There's one more.
And then Geiger and I bonded over sharing deuce bombs. Same bathroom.
Yeah.
So, bombs all around.
Yeah, we would go at the same time. I remember that. Wait, what?
We just be like shouting through the wall, like, "Are you deucing? On 3. 1, 2, 3." So we had to sync up our deuces.
And then 20 years passed, and here we are. So we started a podcast.
Old as fuck. Yeah.
It is interesting, Novak, that you seem to have this, I don't know if it's like a fetish or what, for like making friends with loud jackasses, because it's me, it's Geiger, and then aforementioned Chemnitz, who may be the loudest jackass of all of us. You just want to be friends with all these loud jackasses.
I more than some other of our group of friends was able to adjust and like learn to get like my comments in, because there are friends of ours who cannot make that adjustment. And so we'll be in a group of 5 or 6 or 7 of us, and we all get together, and most of us can get our comments in, and like as a dinner goes by, it just gets louder and louder because we're all trying to be heard and get louder over the next person. And then the couple of friends who don't have that in them just don't say a fucking word for like an hour straight.
until we loudly berate them, be like, "What's your opinion on this?" And they stare at us like, My favorite thing is always when somebody misspeaks. Somebody will say something dumb or like a grammatical error, and then it's just a foot race to see who can make fun of them the fastest. Like we all just start, there's like 18 different terrible jokes making fun of somebody.
I think as we were all sort of like developing this like group sense of humor, Chad, I remember you telling me a story that your wife met us and said something like, "You guys all sound the same."
Yeah, she honestly couldn't tell a bunch of the friends apart, because 3 of them are named Nick, and we all talk the same, sound the same, we're all loud as shit. And she's like, I don't know how any of you understand each other. Just all yelling.
Well, that's the past. Now you know the story. 99 episodes in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's eat some gluten-free snacks. We rate these snacks on a 5-point scale. I love that, like that, indifferent to that, dislike that, and hate that. Let's start with the cookies. They are not in a pack. Geiger, you're going to have to give us the info on this one, because we just have the unwrapped cookie.
So these are Elea's chocolate chunk cookies. They are doubly decadent and so doubly delicious. So they also appear dry as balls. And they don't smell great.
I have 4 cookies, and most of them have shattered. And I just opened the little Ziploc baggie, and these things smell vile. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah. So I picked, last time we did gluten-free stuff when my wife was on the podcast, who obviously has celiacs. We just happened to have stuff that it wasn't necessarily a gluten-free snack. It was just a snack that happened to have no gluten in it. So I wanted to do one of a foodstuff that would actually sort of be designed specifically to be gluten free. And I will say most of the cookies that we've had are like dry as chalk and taste terrible. So she is chomping at the bit to try these, but
I don't even want
I
to
am not
bite this.
having high
It
hopes.
smells so bad.
It smells like
It's
a
weird.
sour cocoa almost or something. I don't know how to.
All right. And I love a chocolate chunk cookie. It's like my favorite.
There's like a very slight. I'm trying to smell it just to get the chocolate. The very slight chocolate smell. It's like if you,
Yeah,
like the sewage in the town was bad, but you drove by the chocolate shop going 65, then like you maybe.
you're driving through Hershey, Pennsylvania during a tire fire.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that smells like chocolate.
Yeah, all this gluten-free stuff is so dry.
It's so dry. This is as dry as that girl Novak and I were trying to hit on at the same time.
Oh boy.
Now, I will say the chocolate chips are not, they're like decently chocolatey.
They didn't fuck up adding a chocolate chip to their recipe.
Well, they're like soft. They're not crunchy, is what I'm saying. Like the rest of it. It's a welcome texture change.
I didn't even get a bite of chocolate chip in that bite I took, so I guess I have to take another one.
Yeah.
Now that girl
look for a
Geiger, that girl we were interested in, was such a like very nice, pure person. I mean, even if by some chance she would have been interested in us, it would have been terrible. Like,
either I would have had to change my entire being, or we would have broken up instantly. I remember she was talking to me one time about, and I won't get it into details, but it's just like about something romantically, and then she was like, "Oh, I could never do that." And in my head, I'm like, "All right, cross off that list." Like,
there's nothing romantic about a BJ.
Okay, well, I didn't want to say it.
Well, you said I had to call you when you said romantic.
Well, I don't know why I was like, no problem talking about how dry she was. And I'm like, there's a certain act between a man and a woman she was not willing to consummate, gentlemen. She would not show me her décolletage.
I don't understand why you think slurping on somebody's kielbasa can't be romantic. Like, what? What's wrong with that? It couldn't be more romantic.
Yeah, that's what I said too. I'm like, you won't slurp a kielbasa? And she's like, huh? Yeah, that's what guts to do.
We were also huge losers. I mean, it's no.
Yeah, let's be clear.
All right, Geiger, you're going to rate these cookies.
All right, the snack. Yeah. All right. They smell worse than they taste, I'll say. They don't taste horrible. They don't taste good, let me be clear, but I don't think they taste bad. Like the chocolate chunk in the cookie, the chip part, actually tastes fine to me. The cookie itself is, again, like I expected it to be, so dry, and has nothing to do with the package being open early. The one I have is the same way. It's just the texture is so bad. I couldn't eat a whole. I had half a cookie. I couldn't eat a whole one. It's without a glass of water, and for that reason, this is just like that. I won't hate it. I could eat it. It's not like the worst thing I've ever eaten, but on texture alone, even if the chocolate of the cookie tasted great, it's so fucking dry that it would make it just like that no matter what.
Jad, what do you think?
What is it about these like gluten-free cookies that makes them that way, right? Because like you can still put butter in, right? So like why is it so dry? Like why do these other non-gluten flours just end up being so dry? I don't get it.
It is a weird thing. I'll say even when you use the baking mixes, they get real crumbly and dry. It must be something in the flour, like the other types of flours you have to use, but I'm not smart enough to know what it is.
It's the gluten, probably, but
I mean, like,
did you guys listen to my
intro?
intro?
They have to make it or something. That's awesome.
This, I think, even this, like, even dunked in milk or something, this would still be gross. The smell is worse than the taste. It doesn't taste nearly as bad as it smells. I don't know why it smelled so foul. Um, and actually, that first bite, I was like, well, this is okay, except that it is super dry. But the aftertaste isn't great. So I'm right in there with you, Geiger. It is a dislike that for me.
Yeah, I feel like if you dunk these in milk, it would be like in some kind of a horror movie where you were like dunking something in acid, and then you pull it up, and like the part that was underneath is completely gone. I totally agree with you guys
exactly.
that
this cookie is Jack Nicholson from the first Batman.
Yep.
I got an alt. This cookie is Terminator 2 at the end of Terminator 2. No.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
go
good.
ahead,
That's
Batman.
good.
Yeah,
Gollum. No. No, the one I was thinking, you know what acid thing that like haunted me as a child? I don't know if you guys remember this, but in RoboCop, when the guy like sits in the acid and then he's like walking around zombified and the truck hits him and he like bursts into a million pieces. Do you guys remember that?
No,
I
I don't think I've ever seen RoboCop,
No.
actually. I probably should.
Really?
Yeah, I probably should.
Oh my gosh, you would
No.
love RoboCop.
I know, I need to see it.
You would love RoboCop. I saw RoboCop like 6 years ago, so I'm not blaming you for that. But yeah, I do remember the scene.
Mm.
All right. Well, anyway,
Remember that part
this
where
is an unwelcome
RoboCop
visitor.
slurps that kielbasa?
His motto is to protect, serve, and slurp kielbasa's.
That inside his view screen where it's like identify ... kielbasa ding 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 ding.
He's just looking at bulges in pants. Maximum kielbasa detected. Novak, do you like the snack?
Dislike that. Unwelcome visitor. It's not good. It doesn't taste good. I mean, I could eat the thing, but it's just not good. Okay,
I like that analysis. Not good. Doesn't taste good. Let's get out of this.
let's eat the peanut butter thing next. So, this is the GFB gluten free bites, ridiculously tasty, protein packed, and it's peanut butter. And what it looks almost like a little something you put in a bird feeder. It's like a little ball, with nuts around it, and it's kind of sticky.
So I'm sort of excited about these. So I before we came down to record, I showed the 3 snacks that we were going to be tasting to my wife, and she grabbed the cookies and was like, tossed them aside, gross, then picked up the other bar and was like, fuck that, and then picked up these things and was like, oh, these things actually have potential. So I think they could be good.
They look appealing actually on the outside. I think they actually look good.
Yeah.
These are gluten-free, plant-based, non-GMO, soy-free, vegan, kosher, and dairy-free. They are apparently the healthiest snack ever devised.
The bag's empty.
That's just air.
Bag of air. They are much harder than I expected, biting into it.
Yeah.
RoboCop thought that too.
Why is he biting it?
He's a robot. He doesn't know how to do it.
Must use teeth on kielbasa.
I came here to sever kielbasa. What? No? Slurp?
All right, Chad, you're going to be up first.
What
do you think of these guys?
Well, much like RoboCop said when he pulled down my pants, that's a letdown. It's dry. Why is it dry? I don't understand.
It's the gluten.
There's just not like a really strong peanut flavor, right? Like I like there's a world where there's a snack like this that you bite into it and maybe there's some creamy peanut butter on the inside, or there's something that just kind of really draws that peanut flavor out. But the peanut flavor falls away because on the inside of this layer of tiny peanuts is just this like gelatinous mass, like a round brick that you have to bite through, that is completely bland and flavorless. I couldn't even finish one. So, do I actually even like the... I think these are slightly better than the cookies, but not by much. So these are also getting a dislike that.
The outside, looking at it, almost looks like a little caramel apple.
Yeah.
The difference is caramel apples taste good. And I don't know. I mean, the flavor is okay, but it's just, like Chad said, it's those peanuts, which are good because they're just peanuts. And the middle, boy, it's just not that great. I think I would rather eat these over the cookies for sure. And I think they're okay. I think I could snack on these. I likely wouldn't, but I'm actually going to give them kind of a low indifferent to dat. So
That's
just
fair.
like an indifferent. Geiger, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm more in the same mindset as Novak. They're not bad tasting. They're just bland. They're so bland.
Yeah.
Like when I thought about them, I'm thinking, okay, peanut butter and peanuts, like it's going to be salty, right? Or like a nice salty snack, maybe a little sweetness somehow in there. But they're just all they're mildly sweet, and I don't know why. Like there's no salt from any of the peanut or peanut butter, and that was I think was bothering me. So the consistency is not great, but I could get through it. They are super chewy, but it's not a big deal. To me, they're just so plain. So I don't want another one. I probably won't eat another one, but again, they're not bad. They taste there, so I'll give them a low level indifferent as well.
Okay, two indifferents and a dislike, still in the lead, and only one snack could try to beat it later, the Schar bar. But right now we've got segment time, and now it's clear, Geiger, our discussion earlier, you know a thing or two about romance, right?
I do clearly.
Good. You're gonna need that for this quiz. You're gonna have to tap into all your romance knowledge. So these are all real things I looked up from just this past week in major cities in the U.S. These are from the Craigslist missed connections. That's where a lot of romance happens.
Nice.
Right? A lot of romance happens there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So much.
So I'm gonna read the ads word for word, and you're gonna have to tell me: is this going to result in romance, or is it going to be no chance?
Awesome.
Wait, do you know the results?
Love
Is
it.
that what you're saying?
I did not bring the no chance music up, but
no
so you know what happened, is what you're saying. You know how it all played
I don't
out?
know what happened.
Okay.
But you just, I mean, these are. This was
Open-ended,
up to destiny,
All
right? So some of these might result in romance. Now, if you think there's even a chance, you could, romance. So we're going to start out pretty kind of what would be a basic kind of ad here. It's titled "Girl Working Out." All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's
not creepy at all.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
It says, I was definitely checking you out while you and I worked out this morning at the park. I ended up hurting my hands during my reps, so I stopped and watched you do your thing.
Yeah.
Wanted to ask if you needed a workout buddy. If you find this, hit me up ASAP.
What park? Does it at least narrow down where he was? That's a million parks.
Yeah. Did she even notice him hurting his hands, or?
This sounds like a guy who can't do 2 pull-ups and he's just like, "Oh, I hurt my hands. Gotta stop."
He saw her go by and went 107. Okay, she probably stopped there and just shook his hand out.
This sounds like a guy who was wearing a gigantic trench coat and he hurt his hands from jacking it so furiously, and all the chicks working out in the park.
Yeah. Do we know if he was cranking it, Novak? Is our picture?
There's no. I was working out. It's just a close up of his kielbasa.
Shows him furiously masturbating while she's working out 2 feet away. I had my brother take it.
All right, Chad, you can start us out. Do you think this could result in romance or no chance?
No, this is no chance. I don't know a single woman who likes to be observed while they're working out by guys. Like there's a reason they have like women only gyms and stuff like that, is to prevent creepers like this from just furiously jacking it while doing 2 push-ups while the other woman is working out. So no chance.
Hold on. So I've not been in a gym in some time. You guys are the strength and conditioning experts, but you're telling me that every other gym is just full of men furiously jacking off? They're just so tired of doing Pilates and turning around. There's 8 guys just cranking it right behind them.
All just telling each other their hands hurt. Your hands hurt too, bro? Yeah, my hands hurt. Let's that. Geiger, you agree? No chance? Or do you think there's some romance here?
No chance, because I agree with maybe not some of the science surrounding Chad's thesis, but at least the central premise of like
science.
I don't think girls feel sexy like working out necessarily. They're all sweaty and wearing like workout crap, and like especially it sounds like it's in a public park, which also sounds more voyeuristic for some reason to me, like than if they had been in the same like class or something. But so no, I don't think she wants to go out with a guy who's got a hand cramp in a park while she's bending over. That sounds a bit.
All right, let's try this next one. Looking for friendly diner guy. All right, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Was at a diner and we bumped into each other going to the bathroom twice. I noticed you investigated me. If you want to meet up sometime, let's meet at that diner bathroom.
I always like the premise of these things are so like this happenstance that it was special to me. I'm hoping someone reads this of the millions of people in my area and recognizes that as like, oh yeah, I went to the bathroom once. Probably me.
I was the guy who kept having a shit during dinner. Like, how do they both go in the bathroom twice?
Maybe you don't eat at that diner anymore. We locked eyes. We both ordered the chili. We both rushed to the bathroom.
Yeah, maybe 2 shits during dinner is actually pretty good for that diner. That's normally like a 10 shit diner for most people.
Yeah, that diner's like, don't tell people you constantly shat here. Get my name out of that ad.
All right, Chad, what do you think?
This is no chance. The only reason she was quote unquote like admiring him or checking him out, whatever she said, was because he bumped into her and she was probably looking to see like had he washed his hands, or did she just get piss all over herself? So yeah, she has no interest in this guy.
Geiger?
Yeah. My wife and I almost didn't go out because the first time I met her, I just kept scanning her to see if she had pissed herself. That's a common thing guys do. Yeah, no, there's no chance. Oh, there's no chance because that guy's not going to remember. Look, maybe this guy remembers all his shits. As a guy who takes a ton of nasty shits, I couldn't tell you one from the other. I could have bumped into 8 women. I don't have no fucking idea. I got business to do. Get the fuck out of my way. Let me take a dump. So, I don't think there's any chance. No one bonds over. It's who wants to read that ad and be like, oh yeah, that girl by the shitter. We kept shitting. I'm gonna go ask her out. That's weird.
It didn't actually say they were shitting, to be fair.
I guess they could have been peeing or something.
I'm pretty sure it was implied. All right, read between the lines, Novak.
We locked eyes. We took heavy deuces.
Those two didn't work out. Let's try the next one.
Okay.
The title is Need Wood. So,
oh boy,
yeah. This person, clearly they might just need firewood or something, It could be.
Could be.
I'm a campsite director.
Healthy female looking for work. Do you need your wood unloaded? Large white oak is my preference to help with.
Wow. Whoa.
I will come to you and we will make an oral contract and you can make a deposit to my account for payment. Send email for details.
Misconnection, huh?
Yeah. Not sure that was a misconnection. That was.
Well, it was certainly an ad in Misconnections.
Is her name Misconnection? I saw you in the woods chopping down a tree. Then I sucked your cock.
No. You have to read it with no innuendo at all. She just likes likes large white oak. Geiger, do you think this could result in romance?
Well, it can result in sex. I don't know about romance. I don't know how romantic it is making a bank deposit first and then having sex with someone. That sounds like a different type of transaction. But
I mean, you literally just said that BJ's were romantic less than 15 minutes ago. So
that can be, but not when you're paying for them. If I'm reading between the lines, if we're just taking it at face value and she just enjoys woodworking, then yes, I guess that could be romantic.
all right, Chad, you agree? Romance?
Yeah, I think this is for sure romance because Geiger mentioned oral contracts are romance, and just because there's something transactional about it doesn't mean it can't be romantic. You know, I got a chai latte the other day, and you know, it was a very romantic encounter because it was the first time I'd gone to the coffee shop in a while, and you know, just drinking that chai latte was just like drinking a big old kielbasa juice. Just it was so romantic. So yeah, romance for me.
Okay.
All right.
All right, we're halfway done. Check the next one. They're only going to get better from here. All right. The next one, area handyman. Parentheses, no tools needed. I use my hands. All right, so this is
These are misconnections.
the guy is a handyman. That's where they found. That's what they're posted as. Honestly, most of them are just solicitation. There's very few in this.
Asking for sex is not a misconnection. Oh, he's a handyman.
This guy is a handyman. There's nothing. If you hear innuendo in this, that's
fair.
you.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's on you.
I can stop by if you need or want a good job done on you. No tools. I keeping things simple. As mentioned, I got really good hands. As mentioned.
I'll refer you back to my previous statement. I got good hands.
Refer to Exhibit A, where I said I had good hands.
Semicolon good.
And also, the handy hand part of handy is all capitalized, and the rest is not. So.
This guy did a great job using Google Translate to make his ad. It sounds fantastic.
All right, Geiger, what do you think? How romantic is the handyman?
It sounds pretty romantic. He sounds like he's very verbose and knows a lot, or at least 10 words. He's good with his hands. He made a point of emphasis on that, and you know, hands can be just as. I mean, handling a kielbasa can be just as romantic as slurping one. So, as romantic as it can be going to Craigslist and getting jerked off, I guess that's romantic.
All right, Chad, you agree?
No, I disagree. Look.
Point out to me where it's not romantic.
I did not read any innuendo into this at all. This seems like a gentleman that just wants to come over and hang some cabinets on the wall for you, or straighten a few pictures.
With no tools.
Yeah.
He's got driving nails into the wall with his fist.
Hey, he's got really good hands. He made that clear. All right. One of his hands is a fucking rubber mallet.
Randy Moss in this ad.
The other one, he's got Freddy Krueger fingers that he can use to as a screwdriver. So I think there's no chance that this is anything but just a pure, offer to improve your home.
Okay. All right. The next one. This is a little bit longer one. The title is "Ever Wanted to Drive a Big Truck?" Question mark.
No.
Now listen close.
No,
Are you one of those guys who's ever fantasized about getting to drive a big lifted diesel pickup truck and cruise it through the strip, showing off, getting the feel of the power of the truck, people checking you out at the stoplight, getting turned on by the attention? Question mark. I'm willing to let some dudes curious to know what it's like being one of those guys driving big trucks jump into the driver's seat of mine for the experience. Be sane, drug-free, and clean.
Wait. What the fuck? People know you
clean.
can test drive trucks at the dealership, right? This is not like I'm desperate to drive a truck. Go to Craigslist. Get me the Craigslist ads.
You could drive through the strip, stopping at lights, and get turned on by the attention people give you.
I can't tell you how many times I just ogle trucks as they go by. I'm like, look at that guy, he's hot. I just yell, give them all that attention they want.
Yeah, I mean, my problem with this one is like I don't have a commercial driver's license, so like I would be kind of breaking the law. Right? So no chance for me.
No chance for Geiger. You say no chance or romance?
Well, look, if this is just an innocuous offer, and again, far be it for me to read anything into this, why do you need to be clean and drug free to drive a truck? I don't know. I mean, maybe you're not high while you're driving. That makes sense. But like the clean part seems to indicate that there's a different...
Why can't you be fucked up on drugs and drive a semi around the city? Smashing through houses and stuff. Look at all the attention you're getting.
This person's saying I can't be 5 sheets to the wind while I'm driving a Mack truck. What the fuck? This is America.
You can feel the power and attention of driving trucks through people's living rooms, watching them stare at you and going, man, that guy's got a huge truck as he tramples my grandmother. Craigslist guy's like, well, he was clean. Yeah, I don't think there's any chance for romance here. This is driving a truck. I don't understand. I don't want to get with anyone who's trying to lure me into their monster truck. Or whatever.
Yeah, you need
a monster truck. It's a monster.
Who wants to drive Gravedigger down Main Street? Crumbling cars underneath them. Don't you feel sexy and clean and just jostling around? It's really hard to suck your dick when you keep hitting all these other trucks.
I'm gonna have a hard time getting through the last one. All right, here we go. The last one. There's no innuendo. Really try to listen to this one without innuendo. Okay.
All right.
The title of it is The title of it is I Do a Reach. I can't even say it. The title is I Do a Reach Around on You at Your Yard Sale. That was the title someone typed. I do a reach around on you at your yard sale. All right. Let me try to get through it. It says scenario, period. I go to see your sofa, comma, table for sale, etc. You're freeballing in a robe or shorts. My dropping by ends up perfect timing, and it feels good for you. I brush up against your C. I leave, and you feel stress-free. Chill and comfortable, and on the down low.
C means couch, right? In this case.
The biggest issue here is that he brushes up against his C, and then he leaves, and you feel stress-free. So you must have been ready to go when this guy dropped by.
The most horny person alive. I can't get over just the yard sale part. Killed me. Reach around anywhere, but I reach around you at yard sale, and I start cracking up.
This guy's looking for a very specific person who is running a yard sale at the time and is into getting reached around at the yard sale. If you can find that perfect match, then good Lord.
Yeah. Shows up at an estate sale, is looking around. Oh fuck! This isn't a yard sale. I'm out. He just leaves.
So no innuendo there. How
no.
How romantic? How romantic, Geiger?
Well, he's being discreet, right? He's describing it in a romantic way. He just shows up, and you're free balling, and he's so polite that he just calls it your C, your couch, your chest, like chest, treasure
Chair.
chest or whatever, chair, cash register at the yard sale, or your cock. He rubs up against your cock, and
It brushes.
he brushes against your cock. The old stiff breeze scenario. Uh, yeah, I mean that's romantic. It's romantic. He's at least being, not so vulgar in his ad. He's just saying he's gonna come by your local neighborhood yard sale, rub one out, and then leave. That's pretty romantic. I'd say there's a high chance that someone would want to do that on their front lawn or driveway in front of their neighbors.
If you want this to take place and you you read this ad, you're like, that sounds good. You have to then start a yard sale and sell your sofa and table because that's the things he's coming to see.
Is this just a ruse to get his neighbors to buy? There's a sofa in the neighborhood he really wants. Like, look, I can't just come out and say it, but I'll fucking stroke you off for that couch. It's hardwood.
Chad.
I love the upholstery.
Chad, what do you think?
This is a real tough one. I think there could be some real romance there. I feel like a yard sale is like a good place for a nice meet cute, like sort of a stereotypical meet cute, and
MEAT.
yeah, a meet C, MEATC. The C stands for cute, and
a meat kielbasa.
the C stands for kielbasa. Yeah, so I could see some romance there. I would like to sell my couch to this person.
I also want to know what this guy thinks a reach around is. If he thinks he's just going to brush against the guy's dick and it's going to explode. I think there's a great deal of work that's involved, as I understand it.
I really like his forwardness to just write in the title, I do a reach around on you at your yard sale.
That's so funny.
The title's perfect.
That is great. I might have died.
All right, let's eat the last snack and see if it can take the day. It doesn't have to do that well. It's got a dislike and 2 indifference to beat. This is the Schar Gluten Free Chocolix. It says gluten and wheat-free milk chocolate coated bars with caramel filling. 32% milk chocolate, 30% caramel filling. It does not account for the rest of the percentage, for the other 38%.
It is Europe's #1 gluten-free, it says. I don't know why or how that's ranked.
This thing smells terrible, too.
Yeah, what is with them using all this subpar C? C stands for chocolate.
Right. The other 30% is also subpar C, which stands for caramel.
There's not much caramel in here either. It's a lot of crumbly cookie or something in there.
The caramel is not. I mean, are they not allowed to use like regular caramel? Because
I can't imagine there's gluten.
Doesn't even seem like a good caramel.
No,
it's not a good caramel.
I'm trying to read the ingredients. Caramel filling. It's not really caramel. It's a corn syrup, glycerin. Yeah, I guess that's probably what caramel is. Sugar.
Well, originally,
God damn it.
Originally, Betsy was going to come on, and she has to eat all this stuff. So I feel comfortable saying, "Man, I'm so glad I don't have to eat this shit because it's not good."
And the sad thing is, she's looking forward to it because it's probably amongst the stuff she's now used to, probably pretty good.
Yeah,
amongst us normal people, this is shit.
All right, I'm first. I actually had some hope for it because the picture looked okay, and it's just chocolate and caramel. How can they fuck that up? Like, does a Milky Way bar, like that Simply Caramel Milky Way that we had tried, which is just chocolate and caramel, does that have gluten in it? Do we know? Would something like that, if it's just chocolate and caramel? I'd be curious.
No, it shouldn't. I don't think so.
Simply Caramel Milky Way.
Because we ate that long ago, if you remember, and it was actually pretty good. Like it was decent. It was light years ahead of this thing. Light years ahead.
They are gluten free.
Yeah. And the thing with this is they put this cookie in there. I feel like that's why they had to make it gluten free.
Yeah.
The cookie's terrible. If you're a gluten free snack, there's no need to put that in.
It's off. I mean, this is essentially a Twix, right? Like it's pretty much exactly
Yep.
the Twix ingredients. And by God, it gives a terrible name to Twix. This this candy bar drives the strip and gets no attention at all. Whereas Twix is getting all the lookers. So I was just, oh man, I'm deciding if I hate this thing enough. It's almost worse than the other two because of what it should have been or could have been. It's the least one I want to bite again.
Right.
I'm gonna not pull any punches here. I'm going to give this a hate dat. I know it's not maybe a popular choice, but it's just so nasty and I don't know. I'm sticking with my hate dat for now, unless something you guys say convinces me otherwise. But Geiger, do you agree?
Not quite. It's not good. The chocolate isn't good chocolate. The caramel's terrible. It doesn't really taste like caramel. It just tastes sweet. I think I've said that about a number of snacks, but to me, if you're going to say something's caramel, it should taste like that. It just tastes like sugar. And the cookie in there, I mean, it's gluten free. It's horrible. So it's it's an 0 for 3 on the three main ingredients. But it is. I still think I'd rather eat it than the cookie again, just because the cookie is like eating dust and it's just so texturally off-putting. The cookie probably tastes slightly better. I'm giving it a dislike that. I don't think it's terrible. Like if it was the only snack in the house, it's not so revolting I couldn't possibly take another bite, right? Which is where I think of like I hate that. But it's bad. So yeah, it's definitely a strong dislike. It's not good. It's disappointing. I thought of the three of these, this is the one that I thought had a shot to be good because I figured the GFB would be more just like a health snack, which it kind of is, and I figured the cookies would be dry as shit, which they were. So I was excited about this one, and it's failed completely.
Okay, now it still has a shot if Chad gives it a love dat, which
does it?
I've got a feeling is not likely.
No, that's not happening. This is. I don't think it's as bad as the cookie, and maybe that's just because I love double chocolate cookies so much, and those cookies are so fucking dry. The flavor is bad though. This one had some potential, like you guys said, but the chocolate is so gross. The caramel is disappointing. The cookie is shit. So to me, the winner today is the GFB, and that's really not saying much because I also gave that a dislike dat. But yeah, I'm 3 for 3 today on dislike dats. This is not a good app for me.
Well, we should have known this was a possibility when we decided the gluten-free snacks. I would really be curious to see what Betsy or if any of our listeners are gluten-free and you've heard of these, or tell us what are the gluten-free snacks to get. If you are gluten-free and you are maybe just doing it for your own health reasons, not a celiac reason, but a lot of people go gluten-free because they just feel better without it. I get that. Sometimes I've actually thought that would be interesting to try, but I might feel better physically, but mentally this would destroy me. So I cannot do it. I would need to be.
I'll definitely ask Betsy what you think.
If I had to eat this all the time, I would feel so bad. I would need the biggest. I would need to drive Bigfoot around. Gravedigger would not do it. That's the only. I would need
Get
so
your
much
manhood
attention
back.
to make up.
The only thing that would cheer you up is just driving down the street, pancaking cars and grandmas. That's the only thing they'll save the day.
Oh my! It's Gravedigger.
Those are the only two I remember. Was Gravedigger and Bigfoot? Were there some other?
Those are the only monster trucks I can think of.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
sure they are.
I had a toy Bigfoot as a kid, which I thought was super cool. Used to have it pancake GI Joes as if they were grandmas. But,
Geiger, where can listeners contact us?
Yeah, if you are a handyman and can hang some cabinets, sans tools, I got some jobs for you at my house. I'm quickly going to assemble a yard sale and see if that offer is still available. So hit me up there. You can reach around my C.
Betsy, we gotta sell the couch.
What? Do I have a bathroom? Ah, fuck it, I'll just be naked. If you are the girl that Novak and I liked, you can listen to this and feel glad that you made the absolute correct choice with your life. Oh, yeah, I could end up with one of them and listen to my husband in the basement giggling about dudes sucking each other off on Craigslist.
You could have been trying to sleep right now. Like we were keeping you awake with our comments about reach arounds.
Ears bleeding when we talk about reaching around. But if you enjoy the podcast, if you would like to leave a question for our mailbag, tell us what snacks we should try, give your thoughts on the snacks we have tried, or leave us any other type of feedback, a rating, a star rating, a review, etc. You can do so wherever you listen to your podcasts. We also have a YouTube. We are on YouTube. We are also on Instagram, hashtag. Nope, that's Twitter. I've done fucking 99 of these. I can't get through it. Hashtag You Tried Dat on Twitter. We are on Instagram. We also have a YouTube. You tried that group on Facebook. Sorry, I'm all fucking horny from all these fucking Craigslist things. All the floods in my dick. And we also have a You Tried That at gmail.com where you can contact us if you really want to at this point. Thanks for listening as always.
Okay, guys, big milestone coming up next week.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah.
I'm excited.
What's the highlight of the first 99?
Ooh, boy. Probably the fact that this podcast did not cause me to get diabetes just yet. So that's a big highlight.
I actually thought about that. How many snacks? Like 99 episodes times 3, plus sometimes we did more than 3, plus we did a whole bunch of mini episodes. So we got to get that number before next week.
Yeah.
To see exactly how many of these we've eaten.
Yeah, it's been a lot of food. Things we drank. I definitely noticed just now at the store, I don't look for things that I think would taste good anymore. I'm just looking at snacks for how interesting they'd be to try. As opposed, like, should I get these for the fellas? That's all I'm really thinking about. But I'll be honest, when we first started, I thought, oh, this would be a fun hobby to do. I just didn't think it would be. And it's been a blast. I'm just kind of amazed, actually, we're at 100 already.
Right. We are looking forward to doing that. We'll be back for a very special, not just the 3 snacks, but special tasting episode next time. But we'll be back next time for episode 100.
Deuces.
Yep.